10 years ago, Utah found itself ranked one of the worst places for women.
I was with a senior leader in my organization who would not make any eye contact with me in a 2-hour meeting of 4 people, and he's sitting directly across the table from me.
I'm not a native to Utah. And when I came here about 12 years ago, I immediately realized that being a woman in Utah was a little different.
In 2013, I remember reading on the state of women in America, and that report ranked Utah as 49 out of the 50 U.S. states and gave Utah an F for women.
Faced with this stark reality, a group of concerned community leaders, including Scott Anderson and Pat Jones, came together to launch the Women's Leadership Institute.
I simply could not understand how Utah could rate as the worst place in the country for women. I just thought we had to change that perception.
Even though there are many great women's organizations here in Utah, there needs to be one that pulls them all together to elevate the stature of women's leadership.
We have a great economy, but the perception of women in Utah is hindering our ability to attract and retain talent.
We got a call at Deseret Management Corporation one day from Pat Jones and said, here's what we're doing. We want to elevate women, their leadership, their visibility, their influence throughout the state of Utah, particularly in politics and business.
As one of the first steps to address the glaring gender gap in leadership positions across Utah, the Women's Leadership Institute partnered with Barbara Annis, educating businesses on the importance of gender diversity. One of the founding principles for WLI is for men to be allies in this work.
We had to include men in the process, that it couldn't be a program just for women, that it could not be seen as a competition between men and women, where women would win only if men lost. The Institute must be seen as a collaboration and a partnership between men and women, a win-win-win situation, a win for women, a win for men, and a win for our communities.
In 2014, the WLI created the Elevate Her Challenge, a groundbreaking initiative designed to tackle the problem of gender diversity head-on by encouraging companies to pledge their commitment to promote more women into leadership roles, offer mentorships and development opportunities, and have an intentional focus on inclusion.
You might be asking yourself what you can do to get involved.
Introducing the Women's Leadership Institute's Elevator Challenge.
It's the word elevate and then the word her. Elevate Her Challenge.
It's a clever play on words.
Having been in market research before for so many years, I knew that we needed to have a product. So it's not enough to say, yes, we're going to elevate women. I think you need some sort of a written goal that is well researched and data-based and with the ability to actually change the behavior, the cultural behaviors.
By helping organizations realize the value of diverse perspectives, Elevate Her has become a catalyst for long-term cultural change, paving the way for a more inclusive, dynamic leadership environment across the state.
One of the beauties of the Elevate Her Challenge is that companies have taken it as a template and they have had open discussions with other people in their company and just extremely effective in changing cultures of so many companies. I'm really proud of that.
Elevate Her was pivotal in shifting the landscape for women in Utah. Women began to gain more opportunities to advance their careers, influence key decisions, and shape the future of their industries. And companies were beginning to notice.
By implementing WLI's research-based principles, we have saved literally millions of dollars in the hiring, retaining, and processing and promoting processes.
Back in 2021, we started to offer a fully paid maternity policy as well as increased flexibility. And since then, in the last couple of years, almost 95% of our women postpartum have been retained. We figure just to recruit someone, onboard them, train them, it's about $35,000 to $40,000 per person we lose. So this means that these programs have saved us in hard costs alone $2 to $2.5 million in the last couple of years.
Workfront in, I think it was 2018, Workfront Lehigh, Utah. Workfront was rated the #2 company, big company in the United States, behind Microsoft, for women to work for.
There were nearly 700 promotions last year in the company. That's a record for us. More importantly, a record number of females were promoted in our company, a 300% increase. Promoting females not only benefited them, but yielded a similar amount of promotion for the males. Simply put, when we improved the environment, the culture, and the employee experience for our females, not only did they succeed, but their male counterparts followed them.
After the launch of the Elevate Her Challenge, the Women's Leadership Institute ignited a wave of progress that extended far beyond its initial goals. The ripple effects of this groundbreaking initiative could be seen across Utah, as new programs and partnerships empowered women and reshaped the landscape of leadership in the state. In 2015, the WLI launched its first cohort, the Political Development Series, training women how to navigate the political landscape and how to run for office. This nonpartisan program laid the groundwork for a new generation of female leaders, inspiring others to follow in their footsteps.
Pat's encouragement allowed me to think about maybe I should run for mayor, or maybe I should think about a run for the state legislature down the road. If we want to be involved in the decisions, we need to get involved in politics. The Political Development Series gives women the confidence, the tools, and the skills they need to take that next step to run for office. One voice can make a difference if you care and you're committed and you're willing to put in the time.
By 2019, the Career Development Series was introduced, helping women who are mid to senior level leaders improve their leadership skills to not only unlock new opportunities for their companies, but also advance their careers.
Being in that room full of other strong, independent, smart, powerful, motivated, driven women, you don't often find yourself in rooms like that, or in situations or discussion groups like that. And I think for me, that was highly motivating.
What Career Development Series does is it's individual. It's one woman at a time, becoming her best self and giving her the ability to see her future and help her understand what she needs to do in order to accomplish her goals and who she needs to surround herself with to make that happen.
Fast forward to 2023, when the Rising Leaders Series was launched as the third program in WLI's lineup. Focusing on cultivating the next wave of trailblazers, this leadership development program is designed for high-potential women without direct reports who are eager to accelerate their careers, drive meaningful change, and seize upcoming leadership opportunities. By this point, more than 1,000 alumni have emerged from these transformative programs, spreading the influence of the Women's Leadership Institute statewide. Community engagement grew stronger each year, fueled by speaking engagements like the annual Salt Lake City Women in Business Conference and community gatherings like the Mind the Gap Festival. Partnerships also expanded, from the first Tee Golf Clinic for women to collaborations with the LPGA Epson Tour at Copper Rock and the annual Southern Utah The Urgency of Women's Leadership with Utah Women Run. New initiatives were launched, such as the Elevate podcast, which highlights stories at the intersection of leadership and gender in the workplace. And strategic alliances were formed with organizations such as Salt Lake Chamber, She Money, She Place, and the World Trade Center, among many others. From political influence to career advancement, the Women's Leadership Institute has sparked a movement. While Utah still ranks low for women, the future is bright, and the work is far from over. Congratulations, Women's Leadership Institute, on 10 years of impact.